On tonight, more on the investigation we've been covering this week as a property owner, Kenneth Moore in Dubuque, is finally speaking out about what tenants say are his unkept buildings.
To give you a recap, this past Thursday, tenant Delisa Fisher contacted us after her electricity was turned off for, she says, no reason. So we looked into it and discovered that her building, 1199 Central, is up for auction. Tuesday, Fisher received what she thought was an eviction notice, but as we told you last night, in order for it to be legal, it must involve a court date. And that's where tonight News Channel 7's Lauren Squires comes in. She tells us Moore's side of the story. First off, Lauren, he says he has not evicted any of those tenants, so explain his side.
That's right. He's actually just given them 30 days notice saying their lease has expired. He says he doesn't have very many problem tenants. He's just trying to clear the building by June 1st to get it ready for auction. And as you said tonight, we hear his side of the story.
Multiple problems, multiple confrontations, never get paid rent on time, always have to make multiple trips.
That's what property owner Kenneth Moore had to say when we asked him about the building at 1199 Central.
Get people in there, and 2-3 months later you've got 3-4 more people living there.
Property manager Vince Kilberg says the tenants we talked to on Tuesday have unauthorized people living in their apartments and that many of the building's problems are caused by them. Moore says he keeps his properties up to city standards.
The building's city inspected. It's got a city license. It's totally deemed habitable. It's right next to City Hall.
But the building meets minimum code requirements. Looking through inspection records since October 2010, the building has been cited for dozens of code violations, including roach infestation, broken doors, unclean units, exterior issues, broken windows, mechanical repairs, and furnace problems. Property managers say some of those problems fall on the tenant.
Bulbs are out, come and change it. That's not, once you move in, you got to do that. 9-volt batteries, filters, but they think the landlord's responsible for all their duties.
But what about the auctioned building? Well, Moore says it's tied to a condominium project in Bellevue and that the building is being held for collateral.
It's just time to close the building down.
Now he's given tenants 30-day notices, not evictions, in order to clear the building in time for auction, though that's not required.
We do care about the tenants. And no matter what anybody says about the building, that's why we gave them a non-renewal of lease. You know, guys, here's 5 weeks, find a place to go, we'll help you.
Though many tenants we spoke to say they can't afford to move.
Now, Moore's talking about 1199 Central. He says maintenance people at that building have been threatened by some of the tenants. Now, as we told you last night, police have been called or received calls of service to that building 18 times in the last 2 years. They say that's above average for calls to service to a building. Now, that building is up for auction on June 7th. Live from our Tri-State Newsroom in Dubuque, Lauren Squires, Iowa's News, Channel 7.
All right, good to hear both sides of the story. Thank you, Lauren. Now, the Dubuque City Council recently passed an ordinance requiring all landlords to do background checks on tenants. That takes effect July 1st.